Swift.
Here we go then, semi-finals time of the World Cup, India versus New Zealand at the Wankhede Stadium. A repeat of the 2019 semi-final, but a very different looking India team. They go in as favourites, but what do they need to look out for? What are the key tactical matchups, and what should Rohit do if he wins the toss? All those questions and more on our preview here on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo Matchday, powered by Qatar Airways, in the presence of Matthew Hayden and Anil Kumble. It's exciting, semi-finals times. We know how well India has played, Anil, but now the big question, can they keep that standard going in a big knockout in a World Cup semi-final?
Yes, they can. I think in terms of the confidence, in terms of the form of not just the team, but individual players too. And all of them have been excellent throughout the tournament. So I certainly believe that, India can keep that momentum going. I know it's a big game. Pressure is on India because it's the semi-final, it's at home, and New Zealand is a tough team when it comes to these tricky semi-finals or India-New Zealand matchups in a World Cup. But I think India should be really confident going into this game.
Yeah, I think India's going to hammer New Zealand, but...
Let's close it there then.
Yeah, but if Conway has a day out, he's been quiet, apart from that first 100 that he got early up in the tournament. And then Rachin as well has been phenomenal. And of course, you've got now back Kane Williamson, who in my book is in the top 5 one-day players in the world currently, and maybe arguably New Zealand's best player, full stop, across all the formats. And he's already had one day out in the sun. He got straight back on the horse after his injury with a solid 95. If that top 3 can really put on some runs, get that scoreboard pressure mounted, then I think they've got some chance. Otherwise, I just can't see where they're going to match either player for player or cross phases India, who are just so confident, as Anil just mentioned.
Right. What about the toss? How important could it be at the Wankhede, especially in this tournament? Because we are seeing a pattern develop here. We've seen South Africa power their way to a score batting first. We've also seen India dominate Sri Lanka. The Australia-Afghanistan game did see Australia get over in a chase, but we know how that game played out. So as we look at the numbers, Anil and Haydos, an average of 61 for the batters batting first versus 9.47 batting second. And clearly, that is something that we have to take into account here. So India started as a chasing team. They've now won 4 batting first. What do you expect they do, and what should they do?
I think if they win the toss, they'll look to bat first. I think that's exactly what I believe they should do. Put a good score. I mean, 300 plus score in a semi-final is a really tough one. And we have seen at the Wankhede, especially in the second innings, the first 15 overs, there's a lot of swing. And if you can knock a few early wickets, then the pressure is on New Zealand. And that's how I think India will look to play this game. But in case India lose the toss and New Zealand look to bat first and they bat first, then it's important that they keep them under 270. I think 300 plus will not be easy. Then you'll have to really play extremely well to get those runs in a semi-final.
Conversely, that almost means New Zealand's best chance would also be to bat first.
To bat first. Yeah, bat first, go big, really put to the sword, some of these early overs as well, using that day, as to their advantage. I think in New Zealand, if they get into that phase under lights, where it's starting to swing around a little bit with 3 high-class seam bowlers from India, that would be real trouble for them. So definitely bat first.
Tactically, we saw India were tested at Dharamshala, Anil, and they seem to have played the moments better. We saw Rohit step out on a slightly different Dharamshala surface, take on Trent Bolt. What are the tactical expectations you have here to make sure India don't find themselves in a position which we imagine, right, Bolt might swing a few and nick them off? What do you expect them to do here?
No, I think if they bat first, they need to continue to bat the same way. I don't see them really changing the tactics. Go hard in the first 10 overs. Yes, there'll be a bit of swing, which I'm sure the openers are aware. Indian openers are aware about the swing. But they need to be attacking. They need to take the game to New Zealand in those first 10 overs if India is batting first. That's for sure. But if you're batting second and then chasing a target, it all depends on how many runs you're chasing. You still need to be aggressive in your mind, but maybe just watch in those first 10 overs just for that extra swing that you will get when you bowl second. And ideally, if you lay a platform, New Zealand don't have that fifth bowler too. I mean, they have three really good bowlers. Lockie Ferguson is good, but Santner, Saudi and Bolt. These are your four main bowlers. So the fifth bowler for New Zealand is still a little bit of a
Is there a case for Kyle Jamieson to come back into the team?
Yeah, at the Wankhede, yes, for sure. But they'll have to sort of then go with a batter light. Chapman hasn't really done much. Will they take that chance is a question.
Yeah, he's not played all tournaments, so would you put him into the semi-final? But do you think they should perhaps throw something against India that they're not expecting?
I'm just thinking outside the box here. If India, if they just struggle with just one change, just something that they may not have planned for or thought of, sure that they'll be sitting inside that dressing room and going, look, I think we know exactly what the team is going to be, and they won't have made account for someone like Kyle Jamieson.
Yeah.
And what we're looking for here is someone who blinks in this competition, because semi-finals is all about that. It's about playing fearless cricket, chasing, setting. It doesn't really matter. The side that wins on the day is the side that is prepared to lose on the day, and throw caution to the wind in a calculated way, but in a way that's, they've both got their game plans sorted out at this stage. Both teams, have played big matches through this tournament and come through, with a shining light. But if I was, in the hutch of New Zealand, I'd be looking to throw something a little bit left of centre, just to get them thinking outside the box and try and make them change their game, because otherwise, they've got the answers.
Right. India still favourites, I'm guessing, for both of you.
Yeah, India.
Right. Matthew Hayden, Anil Kumble, thank you very much. India start as favourites against New Zealand. This is the first semi-final of the World Cup, and this was our build-up to it on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo Matchday, powered by Qatar Airways.
Stunning looks, then swift,